The truth is, last year, I wasn't being pushed as hard as I am in the races here. I need to be really good for the rest of the year.
Okay. Yeah, unload all the pies here, please. Great, guys, let's help him unload the pies. All right, great. Thank you.
Well, not everyone deciding to pit here, as it looks like Jeremy Powers and Stephen Hyde gonna skip the pit first time through. They may move up 3 or 4 positions by eliminating that pit stop. So I think that was a smart move by Powers there. Jeremy Powers sees a just slight weakness in Logan Owen, and he'll have at least second place to show for it. Well, Powers was perfect today. He saw the opportunity, seized it, and that'll earn him a win. Jeremy Powers, your champion today. And there's Logan Owen, good for second across the line. Great ride today.
Great job. That was awesome. You did a great job today. Is there a bottle of water? Maybe one more real quick? We'll go across. I gotta change real quick. There's a bag there. They're gonna furry. Like, thank you, Jay. Jeremy. Massachusetts ran for you. John's waiting for you. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Come on, Mass is awesome.
Second place will be California Giants Specialized Squad.
Come on now. Let's get around.
Jeremy Powers.
Yeah, right. Okay, all right.
All right, hey, thanks, John.
Hi.
It's Amelia.
Hi, Amelia. There you go.
Good job, Amelia.
Yeah, here we go. Good job. All right. I'm gonna actually just get myself situated. Okay, you guys want to come up here? Sure. Oh, how's that look? Okay. Yeah.
Let me see.
Overall, the race went really well. You know, I think when you come off a big training block, you never really have a good understanding of like where you're at. I think everybody got a clean start. It was clear that right away that Steven, Logan, and I were on a good level and we were off the front. But on the run, you could see there was a few chinks in some guys' armor, and the racing started to separate itself. Right away, you could see, yeah, the three of us are going to be riding pretty strong together here. It's going to be a duel. With this long of a race, you know, I think it really went down to the last lap. Steven went maybe with 3 to go, and then Logan for sure with 2 to go and put in a big dig up the climb. And then on the last lap after the run, I punched it pretty hard. Shot past him, got in the front, and then I just kept the pace really high on the climb. I was for sure in the red, but I saved a little bit so that I could navigate the technical section that was coming up right after that. I got a little gap there, and then I just stayed on the gas pretty consistently, came through the pits. Logan brought it back, I jumped the barricades, and then I saw in a video that he slipped a pedal there. He had a mistake, and I was able to gain that couple of seconds and then take it to the line. When I stopped racing on the road a couple years ago, I decided that I wanted to be home more and I wanted to travel less. So, you know, let go of that 1K status and just become a gold member. Like, I love being able to spend time with my wife. I love being able to spend time with my friends. I love being able to spend time with my dog. Oh my God, guys, I was really psyched that you were all here. So that's what I do when I'm really stoked. Just do this thing. About 10 years ago, I moved to Westfield State College, was where I started to go to school, and there was a small group of riders that were living here. Kevin Monahan, Adam Meyerson, a bunch of guys that raced pretty seriously. If I want to be around people that are like-minded, that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, it would be great to be able to train with them. I latched onto them pretty quickly. There's a lot of short climbs in an area where the climate stays pretty medium all year. It doesn't get super hot, it doesn't get super cold. There's other riders that I can go out and train with, hang out with, talk about racing with, and think like me and what I'm trying to do. Being a type A bike racer that's trying to make it into the top 10 of the world, being here and being home. That's what I find to be my most successful formula.
What up, man? Let's go.
My good friend in Belgium says if you eat steak every single day, then you won't want to eat steak anymore. It's about having a lot of variety in your training.
Check him out.
The day we came here and I realized that this sand had this consistency, had no rocks in it, and was very similar to the stuff that we see in Europe, I started to think, man, this could be an incredible place to train.
And I am living my mama's original promise, original work of predicted and honestly chipping each other. My infinite limited me for a moment, believing and hoping to different approach, and I eagerly coasted through leeches and vultures. Now the reason I'm focused, you might see in a moment.
Pretty much perfect. All 5. I think you see something like today, and tell me what cyclocross race you see in the States that has ever looked like that, or has ever had that much challenge, or has ever had that much, you know, like that much risk involved. That's gnarly, right?
Yeah, you can't screw up here.
No, you'll go ass over tea kettle. When you're in Europe, you don't have the option to not run. You have to. You have to run 20 minutes a race every single race. We've only ran in 3 races. Yeah, there's just like such a difference in the way that the courses are set up and laid out. And so it just ends up being that when we get over there, the places that we get annihilated is the stuff that they're doing constantly. And like when they go out and train on a Wednesday, it's in the mud.
every single day is in the mud. It's not necessarily that we're not as good an athlete or whatever. It's just that we're not being exposed to that, and that's what's hurting us and hurting a lot of American riders, is they're not training for what they're actually having to race in over there. And so a lot of those riders there have started at a much easier baseline. Like, I didn't ride tubular tires until I was 20 or 21, and most of those kids all understand and are training on them like literally the first time they ride a cyclocross bike, it's on tubular tires. And so I think it's just really small differences that make them it's such a part of their culture. The same way that we learn how to throw a baseball, they learn how to ride a cyclocross bike, and so it changes things considerably.
Everyone will know me as the girl who's running with her arm, like with her fingers touching her wrist.
Ellen has a picture of running, and I sent her the picture, and I said, "Look at the flick of the wrist."
That's amazing. That's funny as hell. Look at him, look at the wrist.
She wrote something back, and then I just responded with, "Ooh, that wrist."
That's a hip-hop song for anyone that doesn't know what that is. It's a hip-hop song. Look at him, look at the wrist. Look at him, look at the wrist.
There was definitely a lot of immaturity in young Jeremy. I wasn't well-rounded. I was very much full gas, high intensity, full ADD case. I met Al and Mukunda. Those guys showed me all the things that really made me, I'd say, a well-rounded, thinking about how I should be training. Mukunda was like, dude, you need to stop eating, ramen noodles. You need to start thinking more like this. And those guys showed me how to cook and clean and organize myself and start to think and sort of develop some of the skills that I maybe already had, but really took me under their wing as like a little brother. You can't ever underestimate what an older rider understands that you haven't yet. For me, I was always looking at not what can I get from this person, but what can I learn? You could go down the street, go the wrong way. You could go down the street, go the wrong way, or someone could help you go right up the middle and shorten that cycle to learning. And that's so hard when you're young. You think you know everything, but when you actually turn that off and you feel like you're part of a family or a group and you can listen and take that information in, then I think you become a better person from it.
So Anthony just won his first UCI race in Rhode Island. And so he gave me, he stapled his Anthony Clark trading card onto it and said, "J-Pow, first UCI win number. Dude, thanks for always believing in me. Antoine. Tweak." So that's what's up. I'm gonna put that right there.
I definitely love the mentoring. I love being able to tell the riders, and especially when they are getting close to being pro, that's the most fun for me, because that's the moment when things start to change. They're starting to look at potentially changing their lives through making a living through the sport. They're starting to really expect something from themselves. And I have a lot of experience with that, and so I can give a lot of value to them. But when I'm dead and in the grave, I hope that people are like, man, he gave a lot.
Welcome to the Oasis.
So this is just an unmanned store. Basically, we just come in here, we grab a water. You can look, what's the water? Oh, it's $1. Boom. If you want a Kit Kat, a Reese's, you can get all that stuff. I'm gonna go for a cutout. One of these Christmas trees. It's festive. All right. Thanks so much. This is what we call serotonin slam. This is serotonin slam dunk. It's delicious.
Come back!
It's like, hi, how you doing? Good, man.
This guy's third time. This guy's gonna see this.
I think that the media really blew up Hyde's win. Like I was honestly really happy for Steven, but it was hard to like, yeah, it stinks to lose to anyone, right? Anytime. I didn't want to lose to anyone, but I didn't like get annihilated. I didn't like lose a season. I got second place in a sprint finish. So it was hard to like deal with that. Also knowing that like, man, he's like a kid that I'm super proud of and happy for at the same time.
Very disappointing.
This is our table.
This is our table? Oh, sick. Nice, thanks.
Please grab a seat. I'll bring you menus and water.
Thanks.
Yeah, how was the rest of your ride?
Good.
I had a career. Like, I was working in shops, but I was on my way to like working into owning a shop, right? And I was very set on that. And I was doing bike racing on the side. And then I was convinced that like, I was talented enough to move away from that and like, make the move into actual like professional racing, right? But it was a couple of like buffing years of sussing out whether like I had the actual drive to do it, whether I had like enough kill to do it, whether I even wanted to do it at all. And so like moving here was the first big step. It was a big leap. It was like quit my job. Then what am I gonna do? Like work a day or two at another bike shop? Maybe, I don't know. Like didn't have a job, moved out here, but they convinced me it was like, you could do this. Go with it. Quit your job with no money at all and go to these races to prove yourself.
He was home for the first time in like 6 weeks, and he had a bunch of mail there, and a bunch of it was from Stu, and he opened his mail, and it was all checks. And it was like,
which was awesome.
Amazing, because it was so cool.
It was so good.
And
That's the reason to come home.
I was so proud of him, and I gave him this huge hug, and I was like, just so proud of him because he's doing what he wants to be doing, and he's making it work, and he's making his living from it, and it's so amazing.
That's absolutely right. A lot of people, I think, would say, oh, you guys are frenemies. You guys are saying these things that you're really good friends, but you're not. But the truth is that we're actually great friends. To see Steven making it and to see him following almost a direct, it's the exact same road I was on. I signed with Stu and Cyclocross World, and that group brought me up and launched my career. I know that they are taking good care of him. I know they're giving him the tools to be able to succeed. I've always said like, hey man, I want to train together. I want to push each other. I want to try to keep our ego and bravado as low as possible. But when we go into the races, let's try to kill each other. And so that's a very unique balance to have, because while I'm upset that I'm losing, or he's upset that he's losing, no matter what, it could be me, it could be you, it could be anyone. Like, we just want to win.
Yeah, enjoy your day.
If there's any type of legacy or trail that I would like to leave behind, it would look like just a guy that gave as much as he possibly could with what he had. You're not necessarily the most talented guy that ever put a leg over a bike, but that you gave it 110% the right way, the honest way, and you gave everything you possibly could, whether that was in the form of going out and training so that your fans and friends and family saw the best of you and you did great performances, or that's trying to create something like Behind the Barriers TV, where I open up the cyclocross world to everyone so that they can see what's going on and be fans of the sport and give everyone a voice. Or that's something like the Jam Fund, where we're literally mentoring and helping people change their lives. I could win Gloucester, I could win Providence, I could never win another race. And I think as long as those things are still there and I'm able to give back like that and inspire and keep people excited, then I'll be happy, and that's really the big part of the game for me.
Time before you walk away. As always, we thank you for flying Southwest and welcome you to Lynchburg.
I can't believe you didn't fit the dog.
I know, there's no dog, there's no monster. We got plenty of the monster here on the Book of Cross.
He's famous.
But, all right, it's time. MotoFish, you guys gotta get out of here. I'm taking my wife home, I'm dropping you guys off. I'm picking up my wife. I have some alone time, some me time. See you guys next time, maybe Nationals, maybe the World Championships, but we will see you soon. Thank you for watching.